Experience journeys. How do we go about actually doing an experience journey, an experience map? Well, sometimes simple ideas are effective, and it's really a matter of identifying the people involved in a product or a service or a failure demand, and then getting to find out what their experience is. So let's take a credit card. A credit card is stolen, the customer has a need. The customer then phones into, let's say, to the agent then has a need. The agent has to take the information from the customer, identify the customer, put the information into a system, which is then processed. Let's say then that the system throws up a problem, and another person then has a need to phone the customer to get some clarification around something. That information is then taken on board, that has to be processed, something else is initiated. The card is then printed, that may be an automated service. Then at some stage that information goes out to a logistics company. That logistic company have to bring the card and the accompanying letter together, put it in an envelope and send it out. That then goes out to a logistics company that has to get the card all the way to the door, all the way into the envelope into the box. All the people involved have an experience. It is not that difficult to actually get a fairly good sample from all those people to just ask them the basics. What was the need? Okay, my need was to listen to the customer and process the information. What was your experience? It could be good. It could be poor. Why is it poor? Well, because the system asked me for a 22-digit number and the customer never has that number. Then we go further into the next part of the chain. The agent has to then do an outbound call. What's the experience? What's the need? The need is to get the further information from that customer. The experience is poor because that customer at that point then wants to know when the new card's coming. So all these elements have a need and an experience. If we add to that, we say, well, how did the agent or the customer address that issue? So they have a need. Why did they take the action they took? Let's go back to the customer. Perhaps the customer had the app on the phone and the app had a telephone number, so it's easy for them to ring. The first agent who had to process, perhaps they'd been trained. So the training is where they came. If that agent did have a problem because they could never get the customer number, what do they do with that? Where do they share that information? If they come up with a solution to that one, how do they share that knowledge? How do they allow other people to learn? And if you look at those basic principles of a need, an experience, where did the knowledge come from to take the action? And if you need to change that action, how do I share that knowledge to change the action? If you put that across a whole journey, across the credit card, all the way through the customer, the company itself, and the suppliers, you quickly identify where the poor experiences are, and that will lead us to where quality may suffer and ultimately where things will fail.